Let's bring this in a little bit. So, I sound like James Earl Jones right now. And I've had this cold for a few days. I was supposed to be on the lake today. Really wanted to be on the lake today. But when I get sick with a cold, it hits my lungs. And you really don't want it to advance into double pneumonia. I love my black rifle. All right, so I did finish clear coating and fitting some of these baits, these wake baits. So this is actually really cool. This is one for me. Oh, it's green. It's a baby bass. It's a baby bass. This is silver with a purple back. Now the cool thing about this purple back is it's got that yellow, seeping yellow underneath it right there. So turned out really, really good. That was a hard thing to do. And then I've got just a silver with a purple hue to it. And this one right here is sort of a vibrant crappie. And this is green. You're not going to see it. This is my invisible fish one. It's green with scales on it. And I did put some really cool, vibrant color shift on the nose. So these are really cool. This is a wake bait, and it's a jointed wake bait with double joints on it, which is really, really good because you really want that strength there because they're going to hit that back hook too. So this is fantastic. You know, the neat thing too, I actually put the nostrils on here. I actually put nostrils on there. That fish have, so. So, so I got 5 beautiful baits right here. I'll probably paint a couple more today. I don't know. It all depends if the mood hits me. Cold water. Spring is cold water fishing here in Oregon. What do you catch in cold water? You're going to catch trout. That's what you're going to catch. It's a cold water fish. So you have to really go down to lower elevations in order to find some warmer water. You know, try to find some bass that's in a pre-spawn. I was supposed to go to Willow Lake today, which is at 1,400 feet. I live at 4,100 feet, so I'd go down 3,000 feet. And I would have, I think I would have caught a few bass today. Although that lake's got everything in it. It's like Lake of the Woods. It's a great fishing hole. The Lake of the Woods, I want to hit them this week. LT Outdoors Fishing, you saw that particular live where I was turned on to LT Outdoors, and his order comes tomorrow, I think. What is today, the 8th? Yeah, it comes tomorrow, so the delivery man says. So, I'm very curious, and I've never seen lures like them in my life. Extremely creative. They look productive on his channel, so check out LT Outdoors. Lowell is his name, and he looks like a really nice guy. And he's definitely created something that I hope works well in my waters. The crushed bottle cap rattler. I mean, who would have guessed that? Talk about recycling. Folding in half a bottle cap, putting BBs in it, and creating a spoon. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And so we're definitely throwing that out there. And then he's got his pig pounders, which the pig pounder is, I don't know how to describe it. It's got a Colorado blade on it, several beads, two hooks on a soft plastic. I don't know how to explain it. But when it comes in tomorrow, we'll do a little broadcast and unboxing of LT Outdoors. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to fish that this week. I hope, if I'm feeling better. Um, a lot of times these sicknesses, they put me in the hospital, so I don't want to call the doctor today. So give it another day, see how this progresses. But I do sound a lot deeper now. It's not a voice. I do not have a voice filter on right now. It's just the way my voice sounds. This cold hits my lungs. You guys know I have bad lungs, so I mean, it's just the way it works. I ain't got nobody on yet, huh? Nope, I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, Robert's on. Oh, and Patty. I'm sorry, I missed you. Yeah, I'll feel better. It's just a cold, but when the colds hit my lungs, and yeah, I really wanted to go fishing today. Really wanted to go fishing today. Yeah, yeah, the drunken dizzies. I get them tomorrow, and I am totally. God, I'm just. How do you? It's just inventive, and I love inventive stuff, especially if it works. Um, it's affordable. It's unique. Part of my tackle box will look like a junk box. Um, but lol, I watched some of his videos, and he catches fish with these things, including pike. We don't have pike, but it's a jigging spoon, and I go jigging a lot for crappie, and for I can also jig for salmon, kokanee or sockeye salmon. That's actually at the lake. So we'll be doing some jig in the middle of the lake. Pretty cool actually. I'm actually I order a lot of stuff, and um, I just this probably is one of the more exciting orders I've ever done. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I just haven't. I mean, I was a poor kid. I mean, we used to use anything that we found on the shore to fish with. I never thought about using a bottle cap. Just never thought about it. And back then we had pop bottle caps. We also had pull tabs. I don't know if you could use a pull tab. Maybe for crappies or, perch or something like that, because, they're fairly fragile. But a pull tab would actually make, they don't do pull tabs anymore. That's because we always stepped on them at the beach or at the lake. People would pull them off and throw them. Some of us would put them in the can and try not to drink it. But yeah, we'll get back out on the water this week if my health improves. And it snowed 24 hours ago. Woke up till quite a bit of snow on the ground, but it's melted now. So we're supposed to have good weather for this entire week, and a little cold today, but sunny. And for all you people that are in the path of the eclipse, we had the eclipse not too long ago, a few months ago, and it was spectacular. Ours wasn't a full eclipse; it was they called it the Ring of Fire. So the moon centered perfectly, almost covering all of the sun, but then there was this fire ring around it. I mean, I videotaped it and took lots of pictures of it. It was really cool. So if you have a chance to see the eclipse today, definitely see the eclipse today. Really, with cigarette butts. As kids, we just did anything and everything. I mean, we used government cheese. So we had government cheese all the time growing up, and then bread, corn still. I mean, these particular things work still. Crazy thing is that we've gotten into a habit of thinking fish got smart on us. To be honest, you can put some cheese on a hook below a slide sink and just run it up. It'll float. Trout will hit it all day long. It's crazy. I mean, power bait basically is a pseudo cheese. It's just crazy. We actually, and I've seen tortilla chips too. People actually use tortilla chips. Corn tortilla. I can't imagine them staying on long, but I've seen it happen. And corn does work really well. So you don't have to. I just finished the first magazine, writing and designing and editing it for my members. When we do monetize, I want to. The first one's going to be on basic fishing. And then I think the second one is going to be on all bass, and then all trout, and then all panfish, and really make it very, very specific for each magazine. And then and I want to get other fishermen to my articles, and I'll edit them. And we'll do one on kayaks. We'll do one on boating. We'll do one on fish finders. The magazines, the Terrible at Fishing magazine, it will be for our members, and I'm not going to charge hardly anything for membership because I really don't think you should. A simple, small token of your appreciation is good enough for me. And the magazines will be very specific on what a theme, and then if you ever want to archive them and save them on your computer or your phone or something like that, because you'll be sent the magazines that you can say, well, I would love to read something about bass or trout or fish finders or whatever, and you could go to it. Knots, not tying, how to tie a leader, how to tie, Palomar knot, so a blood knot, all sorts of different knots. It would be nice to have, a go-to reference for all that. So the magazine is really designed for fishermen and for reference material. So you could save it to your phone or your tablet or your computer and just go to these things and actually help you later on. As the magazine grows, we will get people in other parts of the country also to contribute articles on how to fish for pike. I don't know how to fish for pike. Never caught a pike in my life. It might do one on ocean fishing. I mean, I know how to ocean fish, but there's some really good ocean fishermen here locally. And although we have to drive 4.5 hours to go ocean fishing, but still, they do. I have a buddy who's got a beautiful ocean boat. So it'll be nice to have these themed magazines. So if you ever, let's say you're taking a vacation to the West Coast, and you want to do some fishing, well, pull up the magazine on the West Coast, East Coast, Southwest, Southeast, whatever, Midwest, ice fishing. We'll definitely do one on ice fishing because I love ice fishing. Love ice fishing. So we'll definitely do one on that. Eventually. We'll get that for later in the year as ice fishing season reapproaches. So we're just going to have fun with I'm going to have fun with this magazine. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the magazine too. I mean, I love writing. You guys know that. I mean, I've written 6+ books, and I just love writing. It's cathartic to me. I love putting thought to paper. It's kind of scary because y'all get to see what's in here. Wow. And coughing hurts, by the way. It just hurts. I'll give it another day. When I start gurgling in my breathing, and then I know I've got pneumonia. Right now, it's just a cough. And a really cool voice. I really need to hit a drive-through. I love being called sir in a drive-through. My normal voice, I usually get ma'am. So, I used to call myself in sick all the time in high school. Just say I was my mom. Didn't have to change my voice or nothing. It was awesome. Yeah, Mike won't be in today. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Rufino. We appreciate the heads up. Hey, you know, so put these in our little selling pouches. These will be for sale at the Lake of the Woods Marina for $15. These jointed baits. This year, I want to focus a lot on top water at Lake of the Woods. It's the best lake we have for here locally for top water fishing. I mean, it is just 78-degree surface temp water. The bass break surface like crazy. And anybody who buys something like this or one of my others, my finesse ones, yeah, I will get them back in the store in 10 minutes. I need another one. My son wants one, or my dad wants one. Oh yeah, this is it'll be killer this year. So, we went to that last Lake Thompson Reservoir last week, and Connery, one of my viewers, nice young man. You watch the video, it's just, you'll see what I think about him and his folks. He had some finesse 1/16 ounce chatterbaits made by Z-Man. And he told me where he bought it, so I went over to the store and bought 3. When you're throwing a 1/16 inch chatterbait, you can catch. If the fish are biting. It's really a very, 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 very good bait. Chatterbaits is one of my favorite baits to use too. I bought 1/8 and 2 1/16. Fantastic baits to Willow Lake. It'll catch fish left and right. It might catch fish over at Lake of the Woods, the trout. It's because Lake of the Woods is really cold. They just got a bunch of snow too last 36 hours. So they're building their docks too right now at Lake of the Woods. So their marina is being built out again, way early. Last year we didn't build the docks till late June. And so this is April, and April 8th, and half the docks are already out there. So the marina is being built very, very early. So it should be a very nice long season for Lake of the Woods. I saw the owner of Lake of the Woods coincidentally on Friday. I was driving by and I saw this estate sale here in town. Big barn, big house. Just always stop by estate sales because I live in a 100-plus-year-old house, so we're still fitting the house. We're remodeling a bathroom, and so I'm just always looking for something. So we'll do it. All right. I got this for $1. All right, I'm not a beer drinker much, but come on. That's a Heineken mini keg. It's green, but I just had to buy that. It's a Heineken mini. I've never seen a beer can that looks so cool. So I like certain cans. So here's a 32-ounce root beer. How many ounces is that? I don't know. I didn't care. I'll never open it. 1 pint, 24 ounces. So 1 pint, 8 fluid ounces is 24 ounce for that. So very cool. My Heineken. I like Heineken too. But I do drink a beer twice a year. It's actually a pretty cool can. Who knows if it's any good, but I just like the can. So I saw John Doherty, who's the owner, majority shareholder of Lake of the Woods there, and we talked, and he tried to give me a compliment thinking I lost weight. I've actually gained weight. So, I love the guy. I mean, I just love the guy. The fact that he even said I lost weight, you gotta love the guy. But, I respect him so much. That's why I do the fishing events and work at the resort as much as I do, what little I do. In June 1st, we have our children's event. And Children's Day at the resort is absolutely fantastic. We put a pool up. We stock it with trophy-sized trout. This is for the 6 and under category of children and handicapped children, those with challenges. And then we net off portions of the marina and we dump the rest of the fish down there. So the 7 and older children go over there. And the little kids, I usually do the kids' pool. And they're catching trophy-size fish. I mean, these are 18-inch fish. I mean, especially, the joy that you see on, children with autism and Down syndrome. And we have Smokey the Bear there. We have people to fillet and cook their fish, so they can eat their fish right there. The Boy Scouts are there to fillet the fish, but we also have the barbecue set up for them to eat the fish too. So it is probably out of the year, the children's event is the best day to volunteer and to just soak it up. I just absolutely. You have to be there. What was it? One time I had this one autistic boy. His name was Blake, and he was pretty autistic. He wasn't just little. And we finally got a fish on his hook, and all of a sudden Blake was gone. He ran. So we go, Blake, come here. And he goes, it's like, we get a picture with you, your fish. It is just, oh man. But it's just, it's the interaction. And this is why I enjoy volunteering every month in the community. I love touching people emotionally. And fishing is such a great way to share memories. I might contact Lowell and see if he can donate something, because I donate a lot of stuff for the fishing events. I mean, I make a lot of baits. I donate a lot of baits. I mean, about $1,000 worth of baits to the fishing event and for the kids. So maybe Lowell, I don't know, and other, I do have other small bait makers that donate, and it gets their name out there, but also it gets them out there in a good way, that they are there for the children. And Lowell seems like a really nice guy, so I don't know. I just thought of it just now, so I mean, I'm busy making baits right now, and we'll see. I hate asking, for people to do stuff like that, but I think they enjoy doing stuff like that, like I do. I really love giving back, especially in a hobby like this. Um, I have a $50 bait over there, and we might throw that in as a grand prize. But that might be something not for the children. That might be something for the October fishing event. We have a derby in October. But these little baits and stuff like that, spinners that I've been doing, all these, we can give to the children. You have to see their faces. I think I have a video or two of the children's event on the channel. I'm sure I do. And last year I couldn't make it. I felt really bad, but I had more important engagement that weekend. Um, this year, oh God, I'm pretty sure I'm okay. Let me see, June 1. May. It's gonna be close. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I have to look. It's on my phone and our tablet, so it's not down here. This is my 24-ounce mug I got from Cabela's that day, and it's not really a mug. It's sort of like a coffee pot with a handle. That's what you want. You want a coffee pot with a handle. Cold water fishing. I think I mentioned that earlier. How do you cold water fish? Well, if you want bass, you're going to have to go deep for bass. When your water's what it was for us at 41 to 42 degrees, bass are very, 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 very lethargic. The deepest spot I could find on that lake was 22 feet, which isn't deep. There's not a whole lot of temperature change from surface to 22 feet. You don't want to find a lake that's like 40 feet because there's a significant temperature change from surface to 40 feet. And then throw a Ned rig or a drop shot of some kind. And just work it slow and get ready for the bite. But a Ned rig and a drop shot really is the best way to work cold water fishing for bass. I have a really good video on drop shots. Ned rigs too, I think. I don't know. Maybe I have to do one on Neds, because a Ned is a recourse all fishermen go to when everything else doesn't work. It's just boring. So a lot of us like reaction strikes. We don't like waiting for it. But drop shotting is like that too. So check that out. But if you go bass fishing, your water's cold, under 50. It'll be rare to get a bite, but you will get a bite once in a while. I didn't get a bite last week. Seek warmer water. When fish start hitting the surface, that's over 60-degree water, surface temp. Then you're just going to start seeing them go shallow and hitting the surface. At 60. At 70, they're just living on top. But what ends up happening is that in the winter, the bass dive and they live off their fat for the most part. They will come up and eat a little here and there, but not much. They're sleeping, basically dormant in the winter. And then as the water warms, they'll come up onto the points of a lake. So typically find the points of a lake and they'll start feeding. They'll fatten themselves up. And then as the water continues to warm to a point of, 55, 60 degrees, then they're going to make their way into the alcoves, usually a sheltered spot, hard bottom, pack bottom, rocks logs, whatever, they're going to find 3 feet of water or so, maybe 4. They'll lay their eggs and they'll bed right there. Some fishermen like to bed fish, and you can run a crawl back, but put them back, please. But I mean, I'm not much of a bed fisherman, so I just leave them alone, let them hatch. And so there's this point of time where they're in an alcove, sheltered from any kind of current, in shallow water, and the reason they're on hard pack is because they need the heat from the shallow water, the sun, and heating up the rocks underneath in order to get their okay, buddy. Thanks, Robert. I will. I'll give it. So they need the shallow water in order to warm up and hatch their eggs. After the hatching, you're going to see a lot of little baby bass breaking surface. It'll look like pop, 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 like little popcorns on the lake. They're just pop, 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 all over the lake. And mom and dad are nearby. And other fish are going to be feeding off of the hatchlings too. So this is a great time to fish because one, mom and dad, they're hungry. They're going to be hitting because they've been sitting on that bed for too long, and other fish are going to be coming over hitting the hatchlings. So this is a great time of year, which is post spawn, to catch lots of bass. Typically, depending, again, water temperature is everything. It's everything, 60 degrees. And when you're at 70 degrees, in the higher 60s, topwater fishing starts to really get active. When you're over 70 degrees, like at Lake of the Woods, it's just popping. And there are certain areas of a lake, and you can always ask a fisherman if they're cool. They'll tell you where to fish. They might give up their favorite spot. They might not. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to see people catch fish. And I find more joy watching people have a good time doing it than me doing it. Although I like doing it. So at Lake of the Woods, I made a really good video on how to fish Lake of the Woods and where to go for smallmouth, largemouth, catfish, topwater, wherever. It's just we do have we do have catfish, not big. The West Coast doesn't have those 60, 70, 80 pounders that y'all have back east. Our catfish are, I don't know, a couple pounds maybe. Nothing. We don't do noodling. I think it's illegal too. I don't know. Some states allow it, some states don't. I've never even looked. I've never gone catfishing. So that's one of those magazines I would definitely have to have contributors for, is catfishing. And I do know a lot of catfishers, fishermen out there. All back east typically, although there is one down in Fresno, where I used to live. So, but yeah, this is going to be a nice long season. It'll be slow going at the beginning, and then it'll pick up. Chase the stock. Whenever they stock legals of a certain fish, something just barely legal, bigger fish will come up and eat them. So look at your local stocking schedule, your Department of Forestry, and chase it. Go the next, the next day after the stock. Work that area around. You're going to catch some really, really big fish that eat those 8 to 10 inch trouts, or whatever they're stocking. So definitely chase those. If you don't know, if you don't know when to fish, that really is a great way to do it. Our German brown trout, the brown trout are massive, and they are, I suggest when you catch a brown, some lakes you're not allowed to keep them, like Diamond Lake here locally. Yeah, it's illegal for you to keep the browns. You can keep them at Lake of the Woods, but we suggest you put them back. Let somebody else have that chance. These are very old fish. I mean, they can get up to 3 feet long. I mean, that's how big a brown trout can get. Nearly 3 feet. It's really the monster of the lake. We don't have sturgeon here, but we got brown trout. And when you hook a brown trout, they dive. I mean, there's like, if you ever gone ocean fishing, catch a lingcod. Lingcod's probably the best tasting cod you could get. Thick steaks, razor sharp teeth. But when you hook one, it's like pulling up a boat anchor. They just swim straight down, and you're just muscling. I mean, it's mano a mano, and he's not swimming left, right, out under the boat. He's just going straight down, and you're just pulling what feels like is a boat anchor. That's the way a German brown is. Brown trouts, they like dive. They don't like to break surface. So every fish has a fight signature. Most fishermen that are experienced can know what's on the line by the way it feels on the rod. And you'll hear it all the time when you watch fishing videos. It's, I think it's a smallmouth, or I think it's a largemouth, or I think it's a red fish, or whatever. I mean, they can guess what fish it is by the way it fights on their line. They all have a signature. See, I got a hairy cat. The cat likes to. I'm trying not to encourage him laying on my chest when it hurts so much, but he jumps up here once in a while. He's not down here right now. So I hope some of this helps. That you fish this week. Remember, if it's cold, go low and slow. If you're going for warm water fish, probably your best spinners work really, really well for trout this time of year. Understand the migratory pattern of the bass, and when you can catch them. And if you don't know the water temperature, go buy a pool thermometer. All right, just buy a pool thermometer. They're like $10 or whatever. Throw it in the lake or water, river, whatever. Wait a few minutes, let it gather its senses, and then pull it out and look to see what the water temperature is. When a fish finder, we use fish finders for two things mostly. Topography, okay, to see the contour of the bottom, and temperature. Ask any fisherman. Those two things are what we spend a lot of money for on a fish finder. Yeah, we see fish, but that just tells us what we're not catching. It doesn't tell us what it is, and whatever. But water temperature is the most important thing, and when it comes to understanding where the fish are in the lake and or river or whatever. So definitely invest into a pool thermometer. Tie it to a string, throw it out there, and pull it in and see what the water temperature is. It's easy to do. Really easy to do. You really should do something. If you don't know the water temperature, just go to a pool store, Target, Walmart, whatever, and buy a pool thermometer today. And then next time you go out, use it. And look at my videos on water temperature, and it'll tell you, where fish are within the column of water, and knowing what to throw, because water temperature will tell you what to throw and how to fish. So, anyway, I think I'm exhausted. I think that's it. I want to thank Robert and Patty. And anybody else who pops in here and sees this video. You guys take care, and you will see me out on the water. You really will. Hey, let's play. I did not play an intro, did I? Let's play an intro. An outro, in other words. Let's do this. This is my rockin' intro. Take care, everybody.